Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about the collapse of Voyager, a big crypto lending platform out there, one that I warned people not to check out for the last 2 years. I'm going to go into why I said that and also what happened. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Ledin. Ledin is the best place to get a Bitcoin mortgage, so using Bitcoin to get a mortgage or to borrow and get a loan for any type of loan against Bitcoin using Bitcoin as the collateral. Okay, cool. And also, caveat there, you're going to want to check out what margin calls are and make sure that you monitor those properly. It can be a risky business. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and jump on in. So I first write this on Thursdays. This is my newsletter called The Held Report. Link is right here, and link is also in the description if you want to subscribe. There's a free and premium tier. And then on Sundays, you see this video come out. Cool. So let's go ahead and dive in. In the wake of Celsius's recent liquidity crisis, Voyager is crumbling as well. So you guys probably heard about Celsius by now. Celsius was a big lending platform that also blew up. These were all tied to exposure with Three Arrows Capital, a big crypto hedge fund that was operating a quasi Ponzi scheme. Okay, so it launched almost 5 years ago, offering a bunch of cryptos that were zero free trading. It also offered interest payments. So these interest rates range from 1% to 9%. We've seen this structure before, though, definitely at companies like Celsius. And so, some of these are, as of April 2021, are pretty reasonable. Bitcoin and some of these were a little high. But essentially what happened here, as I mentioned before, they had exposure to Three Arrows Capital, and Three Arrows borrowed $675 million worth of digital assets from Voyager. And essentially they didn't pay Voyager back. So Voyager had a big gap. And despite managing almost $10 billion in assets, the firm made questionable investments with that money. It participated in the Luna Foundation Guard's $1 billion token sale and invested money in Luna, which, as we all know, didn't go so well because Luna has effectively blown up and vaporized. Voyager, so Three Arrows Capital starts to get margin called. So they issue a deadline for Three Arrows Capital to pay back all the crypto or it would default on its loan. Three Arrows bailed on this request, hiring legal and financial advisors to protect them. And in the crypto markets behind Luna and UST, so those are all intertwined in the whole Terra Luna ecosystem. Those all happened at the same time. So this basically brought Voyager to bankruptcy. So they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy on June 6, 2022. They're looking to, in the initial exit plan, the bankruptcy reveals account holders are to be impaired, which is a fancy way of saying that Voyager users stand to lose all or part of their money. These aren't bank accounts. These are risky accounts where people are taking your money and taking risks with them. This is one of the big reasons why I put Voyager on my red flag list for 2 years. This one is a really big one. FDIC insurance is a mainstay for conventional fiat banking in America, protecting bank accounts up to $250K in case the bank fails. FDIC insurance is a pretty big deal within the crypto industry because it's a super high hurdle to clear. Some exchanges, for example, have touted this with their USD balances. But Voyager made pretty outlandish and blatantly false tweets and content talking about how it's being held by it's being FDIC insured. But after an investigation, the FDIC confirmed that Voyager is not FDIC insured. The Toronto-based company did have a partnership with a bank, but that does not mean that the accounts in that account are FDIC insured. And so that was definitely a very manipulative. And when I saw this, I was like, this is definitely not FDIC insured. This is a big red flag. And the fact that they marketed it that way was a huge red flag. Kind of similar comparison, marrying a CIA employee doesn't automatically grant you their security clearance with the relationship with the Metropolitan Commercial Bank. Same idea. Just because the Metropolitan Commercial Bank has FDIC insurance does not give it to you. So pretty weird, really kind of messed up there. So also who got embroiled in this as well was Mark Cuban with the Mavericks. So the Mavericks are a basketball team out of Dallas, and he's also known for Shark Tank, and he sold a company back in the 2000s. He disappointed his fans because he announced a 5-year partnership with Voyager with the express purpose of coming up with new ways to introduce Mavs fans to cryptocurrency and help them understand it. Well, in this partnership gave fans an extra $100 of crypto when they deposited $100 of their own money and traded at least $10 worth. So they actively marketed this to all Dallas people who are Mavericks fans. And let's put it this way, they're not exactly happy. They're pretty pissed that Mark Cuban basically advertised a really, really poorly run company. So what happens now? So funds in Voyager are basically still stuck. It's not likely that Voyager will return the millions of dollars necessary to repay its users. Some users have had success disputing transactions with their banks. So they can, like if money was on the way, you might be able to sell your holdings at a loss, but this might be impossible if you can't get access to your funds. So you can still claim a loss. It's a little bit complicated tax-wise. Definitely recommend you check out TaxBit. They've got great research on how you can qualify for that loss. So if you had funds at Celsius or Voyager, go check out their blog because they have a good walkthrough of that. The warning signs were somewhat difficult to spot, but with the fake FDIC insurance and other things, if you didn't spend your time doing your homework, that could have looked legitimate. So I think that a lot of people got caught up in that. Ultimately, if you don't want exposure to something like this, if you don't want to risk your money, self-custody it, use a ledger, move that money off an exchange into a ledger and store it there long term. That's ultimately what you want to do as a hodler. You don't want anyone's permission to transact. You don't want anyone's permission to get to your money. You want it where you can hold it. So hope this is enlightening. And by the way, there is one last thing here on Voyager. It's sort of up in the air and unconfirmed, but there seems to be maybe an FTX deal that's brewing. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. There's not enough details for me to really speak about it, but that should be coming out here shortly. So do a quick Google search after you watch this. There'll be some more information on that. Hope you enjoyed. If you like this, subscribe, like it, or comment. Helps with the algorithm, helps get this out to more people. Thanks for watching. Bye.